Hey, what's going on? It's Sean Soloway, and today we'll be looking at the all-new Mondo timed exclusive He-Man Deluxe. But overall, I've had a lot of fun with this figure, so stay tuned to the video, and let's check out Mondo He-Man.
Sean Solo Geek.
What's going on? I'm Sean Solo8, and today I'll be going over my very first 1/6 scale action figure review. We're going to be going over the Mondo timed exclusive He-Man Deluxe. Masters of the Universe has been one of my favorite lines. I'm collecting the Origins and the Revelations. I've always wanted to get, a Hot Toys or something like that, and I've never owned one. And then when I seen this pop up and I heard timed exclusive, of course, I had that fear of missing out. So I had to go ahead and jump on this He-Man Deluxe because He-Man was a big part of my childhood. So this is very nostalgic for me. The package looks absolutely beautiful. You can see over here on the left, you get your Thunder Punch He-Man, you get regular He-Man in the center, and also Battle Armor He-Man on the right. You can see it looks like Snake Mountain's here, Grayskull on the top, and of course Eternia. And then this here is a pretty cool little sticker, nice holographic sticker there. But yeah, the art looks amazing. On the side, it just says He-Man 1/6 scale, both sides. On the top, it just says Masters of the Universe. You can see Grayskull there in the back. Looks absolutely beautiful. On the back of the package, you're treated to the mouth of Grayskull, and it says, by the power of Grayskull. A quick little bio, and it, of course, says Mondo Shop down here on the bottom. But it is connected by a magnet on the side, which just slides open, and you are treated to an image of your figure, which looks absolutely fantastic. The people that did the photography on this absolutely sold the figure for me personally, and I'm sure to many others. You can see in package, you don't really get to see too much because it is all covered with plastic in there. But as you can see, yeah, you do get a lot for your money. It looks absolutely awesome. So right there is what you get. You do get 2 trays, and there's several trays underneath it actually holding it to protect it. But let's get all this stuff out. And boom, I have He-Man out of the package, and right off the bat, he is getting paint everywhere. And I do see a couple defects, but I just wanted to lay everything out of the packaging and just show off how cool this guy is and all the accessories that he comes with. Let's just do a quick close-up of He-Man. There we go. Zoom up on him, but obviously you can just see the paintwork on that is just absolutely beautiful. All the different shading. He is just fantastic to look at, and it looks even better through the camera. The furry boots down here are just epic. You can see all that, but you can already see, yeah, paint is getting all over the place. And then he did actually fall, and he left a nice skid mark on my white background there. You can see his hair. So definitely want to be careful with the paint rub on this guy. It is getting everywhere. But let me just show you the accessories. He does come with this stand and then 2 extra heads, which you can see there. I love that screaming face one. He does come with his battle damaged pieces for his armor, and he comes with this pretty cool knife that does open up to. Let me show you that just really quick here. But you can see the detail on that is just beautiful. Really, really great paintwork. And yeah, it just opens up and you get yourself a knife. It's going to wrap around his boot. He does come with just not just his fist, but some other hands too, like this little pointy finger. And you can see the paint and detail looks pretty good on there. It does look a little bent though. It does come with 2 open hands, which the skin tone is actually definitely a funny looking color on there, but that's to hold his weapons. But yeah, you do get 2 beautiful looking swords. I mean, look at those. Absolutely awesome. This one here is like translucent, and they are pretty heavy, but the handle, paintwork on the handle looks really good. And also, yeah, the sculpt is just fantastic on those. You do get his Thunder Punch armor, but you get the caps, which actually do fit into the shield. I'll show you that here in a minute, and they aren't real caps. It's just nicely painted and weathered caps. You do get 2 gauntlets, which looks like there may be some glitter in there, or that is overspray, but they do have a little bit of shine to them. They are pretty tough plastic, and they look like, yeah, they're sculpted to fit one way on his arms. This piece right here looks really good. You can see on the back all the paint, and there is some black weathering going on in there. Again, the sculpt work is just fantastic, and it is pretty soft and bendy. Get a close-up of these heads while we're here. This is He-Man. His old school head from the cartoon series looks really cool. Well, I would say more like the Mattel Origins line, well, the original Mattel. And then this face mold right here, I think this might end up being people's favorites. You can see his eyes look really good. The teeth look great. The hair just looks fantastic. Phenomenal job and art on there. Here, which the shield is just beautiful. Look at that shield. You can see chip marks, which are to be there to show the battle damage. You can see the little clipping on the sides look absolutely beautiful. The gold trim looks nice. The leathering, yeah, look at that. It looks beautiful. The handle looks amazing. Now, mine are glued in really, really tight on there, but I will display them with that. But wow, look at that. That looks just beautiful. And there is a nice hefty weight to that too, but you can see how it's all like dipped in there. It looks beautiful. Really, really good job on that. The axe, man, look at that. The sculpt work is just absolutely beautiful. And again, the paint work. So props to the company on that. Look at that. Looks beautiful. Now this here, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be on there or if that's just a defect on mine. I do see paint blemishes and stuff like that all over the place, but I guess, you know, if these are painted by hand, it's cool for sure. We're definitely going to put He-Man in some poses. And look at the weathering on this piece here. Just beautiful, isn't it? The Thunder Punch looks super cool. You can see there's a little hinge in there that goes into his fist. It doesn't look like that one is going to articulate. Looks like it's just going to be straightforward, and you can see the clear translucent, and it is all bendy, so looks really cool. This body armor here really does look fantastic, man. You can see there is a magnet on there. The weathering all here looks super cool up on the chest plate. Not much paintwork on the inside. On the back, again, you can see the epic weathering and battle damage. Looks super, super cool. Little studs up here on the top are nicely painted silver. And yeah, these are connected by a magnet too, and it just sticks together. Super nice. Let's go ahead and put one of these H's on here. Yeah, so that looks like it's just going to stick right there. Beautiful. Let's look at the battle damaged one, which I'll probably leave that one on there. And yeah, that sticks on there. Super cool too, because you can remember when we were kids, you know, you would actually hit that and it would flicker over, but that is beautiful. The shield, as I mentioned, I would show you that here. Just twist the camera a little bit, get it out of the... So you don't see my lamp back there, but you can see the He-Man logo up there on the top. And yeah, the paintwork in there and sculpt looks absolutely beautiful too. There's just so much to see on here that is beautiful, you know what I mean? So already doing the video, I'm definitely thinking I got my money's worth for sure. This strap here is glued in really tight, and it is a very, very hard plastic. Would have been nicer if it was like thin, so you can actually get some pull and tug out of that. And then this here looks like real wood almost. That is amazing sculpt work and paint work on there. The caps, I gather, you just stick them in just like that. And they are pretty loose in there. But they're also tight, like, yeah, so there it is tight. But it does look beautiful. But as you can see, yeah, see in the background all the paint that's coming off of mine, so you do want to be careful. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. His chest armor looks fantastic. It's just beautiful. Look at that face mold. Looks super cool. You can see his Adam apple, and then yeah, the paint on mine looks really, really good. It's just on some parts here you can see where, you know, the color doesn't quite look that good, but it's okay. I'm having trouble like articulating mine right here in the upper torso. He does twist right there just fine, and he's not coming apart. It does get a little bit tougher when I twist that way, so I'm really only going to twist him probably this way. It is pretty soft right here. You can see the back side of it. Looks like they just used, you know, a massive fabric, but yeah, that looks really, really cool. The paintwork on the back of the legs look great, and you can see the furry boots. It just looks so cool. It's not even funny. And see the weathering on the boots on the bottom down there. Really cool. They just did, you know, a fantastic job. That definitely looks funny, and you can see the paint down there is a little bit sloppy, but again, that's probably going to be hidden most of the time. But overall, yeah, it looks cool. It just says 2022 Mattel, which is kind of weird. Let's see if I can find those little paint chips. Oh yeah, like right here, you can see, I guess that's where it's glued together, the mold. But yeah, you can clearly see all that stuff on the figure. And that's where the paint actually gets messy at. And the arm, you know, again, the paint looks pretty darn good. But again, I have a lot of lights on here. Now the hinges on the hands look like they just swivel side to side. We're gonna go ahead and pop this hand off. So yeah, it just pops off, and that's what you're greeted with. And let's go ahead and put the pointy finger on here for a little while. Oh, and then these gauntlets look like, yeah, they just pop right off too. So I will put them in a few poses at the end of the video so you guys can see how cool He-Man can look. Let's go ahead and put He-Man back a little bit. But there he is with his pointy finger. And as for arms, you know, they do pop up pretty darn high. And the head, you're not going to get much like tilt back that way. That's why I really wish I could, you know, when I pull on this, it's like making me pull up down here. So I'm going to try to heat that up and see if I can get any movement out of it that way. Now, he looks down pretty darn good. Looks up really good, too. And the head does hold up pretty well. You can see under the arm, there's a little hinge and a ball in there. So his arm only wants to pop about that high. He's got a nice upper swivel cut, which is good. And it doesn't look like there'll be too much paint rub going on there. It looks like a double jointed elbow, but I don't want to pop it up any higher than that because you can see the muscle right there stops it. This wristband looks good too. I know I showed you all the detail on these, but overall, yeah, you know, He-Man just looks super cool. The leg looks like, yeah, it's just in a ball peg down there, so it does go all kinds of different directions down there. Nice swivel in there. Kicks up only about that high before you start to get, you know, some paint chip out of them. Goes back only about that far. He does have a double jointed knee, which is actually pretty darn generous on here. There feels like, yeah, a slight swivel in there too. And again, when you pull it down, you can see the paint difference right here. Just doesn't look really good. No boot cut. There is a really nice rocker on here. And of course, a hinge. Now, before I heat this guy up, let me just show you how the back of this comes off here. It looks like they just are going to pull out. Yeah, it looks like that one pegs out there. And then this one pegs off right here. And of course, his head will pop off very easily, just like that. So let's go ahead and take this off. And I'll be right back, and I'm going to heat this body up. Let's take a close look at that. Yeah, you can see gray paint already coming off on the chest on mine. That's really not good at all, you know, for how much you pay. You can see the gray on the back too. So overall, you know, a lot of flaws for how much we're paying. And I probably just got more paint rub on my shield just from dropping it like that. But, you know, for the price point, you know, you would expect Hot Toys quality, which I haven't put my hands on one of those, but I do know they're probably not as delicate as this is. So let me heat this up and I'll be right back. Here's a look at He-Man doing his power sword by the Power of Grayskull move. Let's go ahead and zoom up a little bit closer for you guys. But looking really cool. I already do got a little bit, I think that's either a nick or silver paint. But as you can see, by heating him up in the mid-torso, it definitely got him to tilt the way I wanted to, which is pretty darn cool. Let me just set this back and show you guys just as he turns. Again, I'm getting paint all over my desk, which is a bummer, but yeah, he looks really cool any way you cut it. So you could actually, you know, put him on your desk like that. And then these hook in just really, really nice. But yeah, he looks super cool like that. Do a couple close-ups for you guys. But you can see where, yeah, I heated him up, and now that mid-torso area really does articulate well, and he does look straight up at this sword, which is super cool. You know, definitely having fun with this figure. Let me try just a couple more poses. Here's He-Man in another pose, looking absolutely phenomenal, man. Let me just tilt him to a few sides like that, but looks super cool. He stands really well. I may have him on the shelf like this here, but unfortunately it does cover up his body armor in this pose here. Don't fall, He-Man. Let's go ahead and zoom up on it a little bit more so you guys can see. But if you're anything like me, yeah, you appreciate this guy. Looks absolutely beautiful, man. Down to those furry boots. I know I'm going to keep showing the details in here, but yeah, you can see the paint all over the place. Paint is just coming off this guy like no tomorrow. Let's go ahead and try the other head mold on this guy really quick. Here he is without the head on. As you can see, he does. Oops, sorry about that. Holly's, my dog's being a very good guard dog. Shh, quiet, okay? But you can see, yeah, the peg system there looks really cool. And then we're going to go ahead and try it with this head. Whoa! I'm probably got, yeah, more paint all over the place. But you can see, yeah, that head mold is probably what I think is the best one. There, and it did give a little bit of a snap to it that time. But, man, actually, and when I was playing rough with him, he ended up turning out to be in a pretty cool, dynamic-looking pose. So, look at that. Dang, man. Absolutely epic. Wow. No kidding. Mondo rocked it with this guy. Again, you know, you shouldn't be playing with him as rough as I am. But I wanted to play rough with this guy. That's for sure. But man, you gotta admit. Let's zoom out and look at him. That is beautiful. What a masterpiece, Mondo. Good job. You know, bravo on that. Let's look at a few other sides. Man, it looks so cool. It's not even funny. But you can see where I articulated him, you know, in the back here again. This piece did pop off, but let me just take that off, and you'll see where his cut is. I actually was able to bend him, you know, quite good there. Let's go ahead and put his arms back. And take this off for a minute, He-Man. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, you can even have him go as like Savage He-Man, but you see that twist in there? He definitely, you know, rotates way better. And not too much side to side and not too much back, but he does have the nice rotation. And with that face, you know, it looks really darn cool. Super cool. Yeah, look at that. Like he's coming for the charge. Just epic, man. Like, look at that. You know, super duper cool. So, can you play with this guy? You know, 100% you can, because look at me playing with him. So, I'm going to go ahead and put He-Man in a couple more poses in some different armor, and we'll see how he looks. But really quick, let's just put on that Funimation head. Or Filmation or Funimation. And you can see it looks pretty darn funny, but it also looks really cool at the same time. Let me give you guys a close-up look on that one. But yeah, definitely pretty cool retro throwback. You can see the paint on mine. But you know, if you play with him like a toy, you know, he's gonna look cool with some battle scars. So let me put some more armor on this guy, and I'll be right back. So I guess I could probably do this on camera, and we're going to go ahead and try his battle armor. Because if you're watching this far, I'm sure you may actually be interested in checking out, you know, the entire video of me rambling about this guy. But with his body articulated like that, let's see. Yeah, it does connect, but there's a little bit of a gap down here on the bottom. But wow, look at that. That is just absolutely fantastic, man. Great job on that. Let's go ahead and try to do the battle axe. Now, the way I did his shield You can see how I have it popped in right there on his hand, and you don't really have to worry about it paint rubbing too much, because I've been really rough with this and it hasn't done any paint rubs, but you can see the fingers do squish pretty good, so you don't have to worry about breaking those. And then we can put his hand on this battle axe and see how cool it looks on here. Whoa, He-Man. Let me tilt his body so this connects a little bit better. Yeah, so now it connected really good. And let's see how he looks with the axe on. But yeah, holy cow. We're going to want to tilt that a little bit up like this, huh? And again, you know, this part is a magnet right here. But yeah, that looks super cool too. You know, very, very, very cool. The dagger, yeah, I forgot to put that on him, but I do want the dagger on my He-Man at all times, because it's just going to look so much cooler, isn't it? Now, the knife of mine is way too loosey-goosey for my liking, but there's how it looks on his boot. It does look really cool, but yeah, again, it's just so loose. I try to lift it up higher, and unless that black strap is going to be on top of this, it just isn't going to want to hold, and it just falls down. I'm sure there's a way you can probably tighten that, but we'll just leave it like it is for now. Let's see if we can get him to like do a pose where it's over his head. Yeah, looks really cool. So definitely a fantastic figure, that's for sure. We're gonna go ahead and put him in his Thunder Punch armor, and we will see how He-Man looks like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and try to put this on over his head, see how easy it is, and it does pop on pretty good. We're gonna fasten that to the back, turn He-Man around, and it looks like there's two massive peg holes. Just gonna pop that one in, and we're gonna pop that one in, and yeah, that stays in there really, really good. And again, you know, that looks super, super cool. Put his arms out like this. And yeah, again, you have yourself another absolutely epic looking He-Man. Wish the axe would stay in there a little bit better. But yeah, there you go. Looking cool yet again. Super, super cool. Now, let's see how simple the bracers are to go on. So we're going to go ahead and pop this one off. Hopefully He-Man will cooperate a little bit. And let's see which side these bracers go on. Looks like they all fit just one direction. We'll take off this axe, put this hand in. Again, we're going to do the same thing as I did last time. Just going to peg that on just like that, and you're going to want to, you know, tilt this pretty much the way you think his arm's going to need to go in there, which looks like about right there, right? Then just slide this on underneath and peg it on. Bam, you have yourself your Thunder Punch shield. And again, you know, don't be afraid to articulate this guy, because you're going to get paint rub, aren't you? But it does look damn cool, that's for sure. Let's put on his other gauntlet. But here he is with this one, and it feels like, yeah, you got to twist it around to get the right spot. We're going to go ahead and put on his lightning sword. And yeah, this sword just looks so sweet. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and if that's, you know, what you're paying to get into, then this figure is definitely worth it all day. But let's have his head looking a little bit straight. Looks super cool, that's for sure. But yeah, there's his Thunder Punch armor. Looking absolutely sweet. With the caps already in the shield. But yeah. Yeah, He-Man looks cool. And again, you know, this knife is really loose down here, but it does look fine. You can see the paint everywhere coming off. But like I said, once you break this guy in, he's going to look cool either way, isn't he? Let's try this Thunderclap Not thunderclap, but thunder punch. When it's on his wrist, yeah, it actually does articulate, which is pretty cool. So just go ahead and twist his body like that. Put this arm back a little bit. And there you have He-Man in Thunder Punch mode. Looking pretty darn cool. See how that looks. Yeah, very, very cool figure. That's for sure. But overall, I've had a lot of fun with this figure. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. Check out one of these videos up on the screen. Kindly comment below and throw a thumbs up on the video. I would definitely appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.